Alrighty, so everything you need to know about the War Within just dropped on the Wowcast. Go watch it in its entirety. I'm just going to watch a little bit here and react to it because this is the part where I'm really interested. I think you guys will be too. This is the new raid, the Nerub'ar Palace. It's the Nerubian style raid. I'm going to turn off closed captioning. We'll watch it and we'll react to it as we're going through it.
Is there anything you want to speak about that?
Yeah, this raid is epic in so many ways. One of the coolest parts is there's this beautiful showpiece that is just in front of...
Also, quick note, while she's ranting about a showpiece, I am looking like a showpiece today, only because I had court, I had a hearing, it's done. I immediately came home because I wanted to watch this, but here we go.
The Queen's Palace. It represents the Nerubian race, and it just shows how highly Queen Ansurek thinks of her people and herself. This raid will get, one of the sections of the raid will get to check out her innermost sanctum. This is where, you know,
we'll get to check out her innermost sanctums.
The Nerubians get to go, and you really get to explore the dark elegance of her palace.
Again, as we were just saying, like the Nerubians, we need to...
The models are looking kind of cool. She's definitely got a different model. We're seeing some classic assets thrown in here, but she's unique.
Remember, they're an advanced race, very, you know, just this epic civilization. I think there's some parallels probably to going back to the Nightborn in Suramar and what going into that city and that palace felt like. We really want to show the sophistication here. This is not a monstrous supervillain lair. This is, you know, a superpower of Azeroth that we find ourselves, you know, facing off against. But yeah, the Queen Ansurek encounter that Tina mentioned, she's going to be the end boss of sort of the initial season, the initial raid tier. The encounter team is hard at work on this one. I can't wait to see it tested later on in beta.
They are hard at work on this one. Gosh, if they make it like Firac, we're gonna be here a while, boys. I still think we're sub 1,000 people that have managed to down Firac on Mythic. We'll have to check.
This is, you know, the whole room is really purpose built to showcase some vertical elements, and you know, it's just an incredible set piece. But we want to, as always, integrate the environment wherever possible into our encounters. So you're facing off against both, you know, a very powerful magical user, but also someone who is arachnid in nature. And how do we kind of deliver parts of the family?
Wouldn't it be crazy if during the encounter we end up with something like Firelands? Because remember, in Firelands, they had the spider encounter where you had to go up because she made a web up there. But instead of that, wouldn't it be crazy if they put like a web up there and it's upside down and they make you play somewhat inverted, so it kind of messes with your directions a little bit. Right will be your left, left will be your right. Sounds terrible, but you know, I actually think it'd be fun as long as there's not a huge damage mechanic associated with it.
Fantasy of, you know, scaling a web while locked in combat against the Queen. Those are the things that we're currently exploring. Can't wait to see that up for testing.
Does that mean we're going to get tier sets again?
Certainly. I think last...
Yes! Yes! Tier sets. Certainly. Heard it here. We need tier. Bonus effects are what we want, boys, and they are out here for dinner.
Time we tried taking them away, I recall torches and pitchforks in the street. New tier means new tier sets.
Ooh.
And these days, you know, unlike years and years ago when you only had to raid in order to get the tier set, now you can get them from a wide array of activities, whether you're a raider, Mythic Plus player, or an Outdoor World player, which includes now delves.
Ah, delves. Let's start talking about delves.
All right, that's where we're at with it. It was super interesting. I'm excited for the raid. We didn't get much about it, but we got to see some art from it. Glad to hear that they're still actively working on the encounters. I think it's better the less that we know about that up front. The game is now heading to alpha. What are your guys' thoughts? Like, what are we thinking about this raid? Do you think like the first raid is the biggest thing for the expansion to hook us in, or do you think it's okay, like if it peters, if it's kind of quick? Every time I think of like a fast fly-by-night raid, I always think about Ruby Sanctum back in the day, and that was at the tail end, just to give us a content gap. But from now, it looks like Blizzard is understanding when our content gaps hit, and that's when they're giving us stuff like Plunderstorm and now WoW Remix. You guys let me know. Where are you at with this? So far, we don't know much about the raid. Do we feel like that's because it's going to be a smaller raid? It'll be a bigger raid? There's just a lot going on. You let me know. I'm very curious. All I'm happy about, tier sets, and, you know, the other announcement that I made into a YouTube short about turning spiders into crabs for arachnophobia. That's awesome. But thank you very much. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit me up. Leave a comment. Let me know where you're at. I'm really curious. It's genuine curiosity at this point. It's getting to the point where we're finally getting information, and that's always the best part about this game, is when we start getting to see the story get built up before our eyes. See ya.